So now that I've heard that the Barbarian is not returning from Diablo 2 as the Barbarian in this game, makes me wonder if there'll be mention of him, or what kind of mentions there will be of other characters from the previous game. You will be returning to Mount Area, it appears, so I'm sure there'll be something to reference it. Back here. Not enough spirit, no. There we go. Accidentally clicked on the wrong monster each time I tried to get to him. Evil Eye Tooth Grind. You know, the random name generator system for this game never ceases to amaze me. These things definitely have a lot of health. They will not die quickly. Of course, part of it probably is I'm not upgrading my weapons. I don't know, 7.2, 7.5 is not bad damage per second at this point. 10 DPS is the only real upgrade I've found. I'm gonna venture a guess that the exit is over here somewhere. Just because this feels very familiar in the layout. I'm pretty sure it's not the same each time, but this one just feels... Oh well, we'll see. The Resplendent Chest. This is always fun. Come at me, bro. These mobs are not worth any experience, unfortunately. It is fun to kill them. See, I'm dodging a lot, but I am starting to take damage over time just because of the archers, so let's go ahead and... Oh, the Templar just healed me. How nice of him. Alright, let's go up here so that I can start hitting the monsters downward. Use a little strategy with my abilities again. Use my frontal cone to my advantage. "102 monsters killed. Very small experience boost from that, though, and I really think that that's because what used to happen, honestly, in this event, those skeletons didn't count towards massacres or number of monsters killed prior to patch 13. Or I can at least say that it was in patch 12 that way. Whether or not it was before that, I don't know. But in 12, they didn't count for anything. They still don't give you experience, but at least now they count towards a bonus like that, because 102 is the highest I've ever gotten at this point. So at least they count for that. The experience, obviously the experience bonus normally for that would probably be another 100 experience or something higher than 4. But because the monsters themselves were not worth experience, then that affected obviously the experience I gained from the event. And how unfortunate there's not even a blue in that chest though, huh? Guys with shields are fairly annoying. Can lash tail kick them backwards, but they can still block the damage. Of course, no blue in the chest, but lo and behold, there's 2 blues over here. Random system, right? Some days random sucks. Just ask me about loot drops in World of Warcraft. I'll tell you all about it. I just dashed through the barrier. Excellent. You know, I completely even forgot that I have Way of the Falling Star on my Dashing Strike. As you can tell, I mean, when I use Dashing Strike, I'm usually in the midst of combat. Usually don't have a lot of need for it. So that 3 seconds passes quickly. As you can see there, I am moving a bit quicker and then slowing right down.
When we return from
Almost 11. And there it is. Exploding Palm. And Self-Reflection for Blinding Flash. Okay. So this is the last of the primary abilities that I get. 6 spirit per attack. I didn't get to use this in the last beta. Didn't level up my monk to level 13, and this one I think was a little later. So I didn't get to try it out yet, so this will be nice to actually try it out this time. 6 spirit per attack. First 2 strikes in the attack deal 100% weapon damage. The third strike causes the target to bleed for 69% of weapon damage as physical per second for 3 seconds. If the target dies while bleeding, it explodes and deals 30% of the target's maximum life as physical damage to all other enemies nearby. So first 2 abilities, much like the others, 100%, 100%. And then the last strike, From the way this is describing it, it looks like the last strike really doesn't do damage itself other than to put a bleed on the enemy, and then it's 69% per second, 3 seconds. So that's, you know, a decent amount of damage over time there. And then, of course, if it's still bleeding and you kill it, 30% damage, you know, of its maximum damage done to everything around it. So it's like corpse explosion rolled up into an ability here. It's, you know, you don't have to have an existing corpse, you just have to kill something you put the bleed on. So compared to the other generators, this one has more damage potential because it can do, like the others, it's got AoE components on it built in. But it's really strong single target as well because of that bleed. You know, if I were to fight Leoric, you know, that 3 seconds of weapon damage constantly ticking down, you know, getting that every third hit. So we'll try it out here. And Lightning Flash, let's look at the rune. Self-Reflection. Increases the duration enemies are blinded to 4 seconds. So, instead of 3, we get 4. So, not the best rune in my opinion. 1 additional second is all that gives you. From 3 to 4. Okay, understandable because in 1 second a lot can happen. Alright, I can understand that. But it still doesn't feel like a lot. So, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's one I would use. But, you know, that is a buff. Obviously, you know, just a fairly minor one. Let's take a look at what it used to be. I've got the note here. I think the notes are wrong here because it says increases duration by 4 seconds when the duration is 4 seconds. So the notes are slightly wrong, but that's okay. Used to be 7 seconds from the looks of it, though. So you lose 3 seconds. Again, this is understandable, as the Blinding Flash used to be broken on damage. Now it's not broken on damage. I would have liked to have seen it instead of 4, maybe be 5. Oh, and there's the explosion. That's looking nice. I like this exploding palm. Let's kind of take a look at it here. That's interesting. It's like a pressure point attack if you look at it. She attacks with 2 fingers with each strike. And then the last one is the full palm with the explosion there. And we've seen the enemies blow up with it, so that's really nice. Now, this is an ability that would probably work well combined with another spirit generator. Because the first 2 abilities, as you've seen, have fairly short range. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with that. And there's the explosion. Really nice AoE going on there. Exploding palm, or sorry, Fist of Thunder. Not too much that would benefit from. Probably just the faster attack speed. Although the first 2 hits of Exploding Palm are not that slow. So I don't think Fist of Thunder would actually be that great to add on to it. However, you could start with, say, Deadly Reach, because the first 2 abilities have a longer reach to it. In fact, if you slotted Deadly Reach with Piercing Trident, the second hit would hit in a V formation, so you would have do a slight AoE component, and then you could hit Exploding Palm to do the AoE damage. Now you can see the palm icon over there. See that over his head? That's how you can tell you've hit him with it. And there's the explosion. So there is a visual cue to tell you when you've put that on an enemy. Because enemies are dying fairly quickly, it's hard for me to really tell if that explosion right there is an AoE or not, if I can hit multiple enemies with the bleed. Let's try this. I see 1 palm, so that looks like This looks like one of those abilities that's really nice to put the bleed on someone that's a little tougher. Or, honestly, what you could do is first 2 hits on the monster that's really tough that you're trying to kill right now, and then put the 3rd hit on a monster that's about to die. And then that way you can get the explosion damage by killing weaker enemies while still focusing on a big enemy that's your primary target. So there's a little strategy involved with using this ability as well. And again, you can probably just click spam and it'll work well, but by using the ability's strengths to your advantage, you would end up being far more efficient. So, you know, when you're getting ready for that 3rd hit, find an enemy that's about to die.
I tried to count how many we've killed, but I've lost.
I'm going to go ahead and use Blinding Flash here in a moment, because again, we looked at it, it does increase the duration of the stun. I'd like to see if it has a slightly different look to it. Doesn't look like it. Of course, that's one of those abilities that's really hard to see a change in, just because all it really is a flash of light. And there you can set up 2 palms right there, right next to each other, hoping that the explosion would kill the second monster with the palm to blow up again. Looks like I'm going to be right. Looks like it's going to be down that way. Let's explore up here and to the left to finish our exploration. Oh! I was a little off, so it's not down here, it's actually up here. Fairly large dungeon. That is the Royal Crypts. I'm probably not going to hit level 12 before Leoric. Let's just check. I'll try and be quick. Actually, I have no idea how much time I've spent on this one, as I have done the best I can to avoid just randomly destroying every little item in my path. Still destroying some, but obviously not everything. And I'm not picking up a lot of things either, simply because there's really no need at this point. I have all the gold I could really use. More inventory space in my stash than I really need. My blacksmith is not quite the highest level he can be right now, but
There, a worthy foe.
relatively close. Let's try and get a few hands out there. You're not going to die quick enough to do an explosion, unfortunately. Good AoE, good single target. I really can't argue with Exploding Palm. I still like Deadly Reach, though. I think the hard part of playing a monk is going to be deciding which abilities I finally want to use, you know? But 30% of maximum health is a good chunk. I mean, that means pretty much 30% of the next monster's health is going to drop. Unless it's a mixed group, of course, but... Hey, Cormac leveled! Congrats, buddy! What am I going to do for you? Enemies hit the Templar are slowed or regenerate life. Let's do that.
That will serve me well.
Gonna make you my healer. That way I don't have to use Breath of Heaven. Oh, there were some decent enemies over here, including some rares, so I'd say that was worth it. 3 bars up to the next level, so definitely getting closer, but I think I'll be lucky if I level when I kill Leoric. He gives a lot of experience, but I don't think it'll be quite enough. We'll have to see how much I get from killing the 4 Pillars event. So just like World of Warcraft, you notice these are about...
Understand how evil walks in the day.
Excuse me.
Should it not fear the light?
There's about 10 bars here, so what you could tell is
But the light is both a literal and figurative foe of evil.
each bar would represent about 10% of your experience. So as you can see, I'm about 30% into it. So that's actually a pretty good distance to be this far into the game, about to get to Leoric. If I manage to hit 12, that will be the highest level I've killed the king on the first attempt. So there's a lot of destructible items around here. Now granted, monsters could hop out of them.
May death bring peace from your madness, Leoric.
Let's,
The armies of Condorus will still obey their king.
meh.
Even if you will not.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. The chance of monsters popping out are not that high, and then they're not really a lot of experience, so we'll move on.
We shall put you down, Hellspawn.
Doesn't look like these skeletons are giving experience either. So it looks like skeletons brought into the world by generators like these pillars don't really give you anything. At least that's good to know, so I don't waste my time on them, you know. I can kill a few to get them out of the way, but I know that I don't want to just sit here and let them appear to try and farm them for experience, because that just won't happen. Alright, I'm going to put Lashing Tail Kick back on. I'm surprised I didn't go all the way to the monster on that one. Magic and gold find, this close to the Skeleton King. Now if I could manage to get to and kill the Skeleton King quickly here, I suppose it'd be great, but the King already has pretty much a guaranteed chance to drop a rare right now, so I'm not too worried about that. More want to see if I can get some more experience through these skeletons here. %40 to level. Yeah, it hardly budged. Okay. Still, level 11 is not bad. I honestly think I still have more experience on this playthrough than I have on other ones, so I will very quickly make it to levels 12 and 13 for the final playthrough. Okay, Okay, so Cormac disappears from the cutscene, but the aura is still there. If they want him not to show up, they should at least make sure that even that doesn't show up. And yet I find it weird that he doesn't show up, to be honest. There, I got 2 explosions right next to each other because of my exploding palm being onto him. Very nice. Hey, that was a good chunk of experience. I almost brought that up to another bar. Can Leoric come out to play?
Not enough spirit.
You can see if you look at his lifeline, you can see the drain or the bleed is affecting him. His lifeline is dropping a bit even as I hit him that hard. Now what I should really do here is use this on his skeletons to get that explosion going and clear him out, and hopefully hurt him more by their explosions. So I'm putting my evasion up every now and then, using my kick for more damage. So he'll appear over here with them. Let's get a few more explosions ready. There we go. Hit the same skeleton 3 times without meaning to. Oh, nice. Triple explosion on that one. Kick. 3 blues, 2 yellows. Thank you, sir. And a decent chunk of experience. So all I have to do is finish this off and then get level 13, and then I can have a new video for you guys with the final abilities. And as always, I hope that this one has been informative and that I did not ramble on too much. I am wary of that. As much as you guys say you like it, I know there's a point that sometimes it can be too much. Alright, well, let's take a look at the loot that I got. We've got some rare gloves here. Looks like low level gloves though. 5% better chance of magic find. Melee attackers take 3 damage per hit. Health globes grant 5 life, and health and gold pickup radius increased. I'm sensing a pattern here. Most of the abilities or items I've gotten from him seem to follow that trend. Alright, let's look at the ring. Hopefully this is a decent one. Plus 1 to 2 damage, that's nice. Attack speed increase, 13% extra gold, and 3 additional experience from monsters. As being level 3. So it's 1 less experience gain, but additional damage. I think I will use it for this character at the very least, since my next video will not be all farming. It'll just be of the levels as I get them. And I'll save this for another player. Alright then. This has been the Monk for patch 13 in Diablo 3. I am Kagekaze, once again asking you to thumb up if you liked the video, and leave comments, feedbacks, or questions in the comment section, and I will definitely read them even if I don't get to respond to them. Thank you guys, it's been a pleasure.